Welcome online, guys. TomoGotchi here, and we're talking to Pete now. Right, I don't know what you're doing, so... Well, wait, what happened? You disappeared? What happened? What? Pete disappeared in front of you? Just come back here. Okay, new case. New case. I got really addicted to it. It's the kind of game that rewards you for just simply being there, so... If you're simply online for like 2 hours, you would get items just for being there for 2 hours. So it's their way of... Wait, Miko, my poor cat? Oh, okay. Alright, so I have to get someone's cat out of a tree now, so that's pretty boring. Unless the cat is a Digimon. Okay. Wait, when it says cat, it doesn't mean those Neko girls that were health recovery items. You get discs to help you hatch a Digimon. Actually, I wonder if I've said this before. Oh, you know what? I think it's worth bringing up. Wait, I've already been there. Why did I have to go there again? The Digimon hatching system. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't remember. Hi. Oh, it's you. It's better of not knowing. Oh, I'm Pete. Whatever you are. Miko, just come back to me. No, I can't. That's too much for me to ask. I'm not... Tomo, please, leave me alone. Let's things stay just the way they are. I'm sorry, Miko. I'm sorry. Wait, so you knew Pete? By the way, you said inside the walls. I'm willing to bet it's a way for me to get... Despite what I'm going to say, I'm just... Full disclaimer here. I am not a saint. Like, I did this. Oh, I've got a... Now that I think about it, I've got another story to tell. But, you know what? One at a time. The hatching system is a thing. So, how do you get new Digimon? Well, let me put it this way, okay? I'm comparing Pokemon here, but bear with me here, okay? When you want a new Pokemon, what do? You go into the wild, you throw a Pokeball at it, and you got it. Simple, right? You get Pokeball to the effort of getting max IVs on my Pokemon. That is true. Oh yeah, Angemon, I remember now what I was doing with him. But what do you do for Digimon? Well, I'll tell you. First off, you need a Digi-Egg. To get a Digi-Egg, you need to fight that specific Digimon or its Digivolutions. So, for instance, then you need to hatch that egg. But hatching's not easy. No. For Agumon, what you would need to do is you don't just need eggs. You need data. Dragon data specifically, because he's a dragon of grinding for that data, right? Let's say you have everything you needed. You put the egg in the incubator, right? You have a way to hatch the Digimon. You would need 5 data for each attempt. Now, when I say attempt, I mean when you put an egg in the incubator and you put 5 data into the machine, then one of 3 things will happen. 1, that will go up a stage. There are 5 stages. It would go up a stage. Successful data input. 2, the data would break, so you'd have to try again. 3, the egg itself would break, you'd never get it back, and you failed. So you would need another egg to try again. There are 5 stages in all. And as you go up the chain, you would need... So basically you would need 25 dragon data minimum. But oh, let me remind you, there's like a 1 in 3 chance it would succeed. 5 data minimum. But considering the data would break, you would need a heck of a lot more data to make that happen. So, and then you're like level 1. Attempt, break, attempt, break, attempt. Stage 2, complete. Great. Attempt, break. If you wanted to hatch a Digimon, you would have to get 3 out of 5 stages. So if you get to level 3, you could hatch the Digimon. It's a lot harder, and the difficulty increases each time. But let's face it, it's an MMO. So bigger numbers are important. So you want that 5 out of 5. You might as well not even attempt a 3 out of 5 if you want that. I think I have mentioned this before. So to get a new Digi-Egg, you would have to grind for data and for eggs. And what I would... So yes, Digimon Masters Online, I only recommend it for hardcore players. And if you're willing to shell out the cash, which I did. I know. Granted, I did try it. When you hatch that 5 out of 5 egg by yourself without spending money, it feels awesome. And I've done exactly that. However, there are unfortunately other little quirks to the game. So let me tell you an even bigger story. If you think that's bad, let me tell you, I don't think I've ever told this story. I'm gonna tell this story. Why not? So let's talk about the spirit Digimon in the game. Oh boy, you want to tell me how bad I was with my addiction to that game? Let me tell you the story of how much it took to get Susanowamon. So I'm telling the story. If you fight certain Digimon, which to be fair, it could be any Digimon at all. Any Digimon, all Digimon drop spirit items, which is what you need to get spirit Digimon. So you need a spirit item that was either human or beast. Monochromon in here. So you would need one spirit item. We're unlocking a Goonimon in this example, so you would need one Fire H spirit item. You would also need an item called Bokomon's Book of Knowledge, which was an item only available in the cash shop. And you would need to talk to Bokomon, and he would straight up give you a Goonimon. Like, there was no... I think it actually did cost you a little bit of in-game money to get him too, but you straight up got him. He was always 3 out of 5, so you couldn't get anything beyond that. Right. That's how you would get a Goonimon. Right? Over the course of every update, they would release Spirit Digimon, and I did this. So, what would happen is, I got a Goonimon. The reason why a Goonimon exists in-game is if you can technically keep him because he is a Digimon after all, but the reason why people want him is because you need him to unlock an item called Shining Fire H Spirit, right? The only way to get that is if you dismantle a Goonimon when he's level 99, which was max at the time. I mean, now it's like anything 99 and above. But my point is, you would have to grind a Goonimon, who doesn't digivolve into anything else, by the way. You'd have to purposely grind a Goonimon to level 99. Which, I remind you, Digimon Masters Online is a massive grind fest. That said, I did it. I grinded a Goonimon to level 99. Now imagine that 19 more times. 1 for every spirit Digimon that exists, 10 for every human spirit, and 10 for every beast spirit. When you get those shining spirits for all 20, you would use 10 to unlock... Actually, I'll save that. So, you've got Emperor Greymon and Magna Garurumon. They're single Digimon. They don't Digivolve to or... They don't Digivolve from anything, so it's like having a rookie that's also a Mega. So that's cool. So you've got a strong Digimon already. Then you have to grind those Digimon to level 99 in order to unlock a set of quests. Oh, by the way, so it costs you a lot of time and a lot of in-game money to get them. So you need to grind Emperor Greymon and Magna Garurumon to unlock the Jogres quests. And that takes a while. And when you do that, you unlock Susanoo-amon. So for those of you in the Peanut Factory, you would need 20 Digimon. Grind all of them up to level 99, one at a time. I mean, there are ways you can cut that down a peg. I've done it, but you essentially need to grind 20 Digimon to level 99 to get 2 stronger Digimon. Oh, another thing I want to mention. With the exception of Agunimon and Burning Greymon, although he's called Vitramon in the game, all Digimon are non-types, which means that they are weak to everything. They're considered champion level from a power level perspective, but they're essentially weak to everything. 20 Digimon that are weak to everything, you need to grind up to level 99 to get 2 Digimon that are stronger, but you need to grind them to level 99. And then go on a whole bunch of quests to unlock Susanoo-amon. Let me repeat this one more time, which is something I did. You would need to grind. You would need... In fact, you know what? I can add to this. You would need to grind for spirit items. 2 for each element. Go to the cash shop. Or buy from a seller that is obviously going to sell them for quite high price. 20 Pokemon Books of Knowledge that you either need to pay with real money or in-game money thing. Get 2 Digimon. Out of those 20 items, grind those Digimon up to level 99. Then go on a series of quests for each Digimon to unlock. And by the way, again, you need to unlock... You can only unlock Susanoo-amon if you do both of them. So you can't just cheat and just do one of them and you're done. No. You need to go on a bunch of quests. And on top... And this is optional. You also need to unlock items to unlock their riding mode, which also is something you get from the cash shop. And that's just to get them. If you really want to be a nut job and work on their stats, like, that takes a whole lot of time by itself. Like, all that I just said was just to get him, but then you need to work towards improving its stats, and not just through seals. Like, there's a digi-clone system. I'm not going to go into how it works, but essentially it's a thing you need to do, which is also randomized, that you also need to do in order to increase its attack, defense, and so on. And it's another thing where it works half the time, otherwise it breaks. But again, it's another thing where if you don't want it to break, you can just pay in real money in order to get the Digimon. So, in order to guarantee that the stat increases. By the way, I'm getting lost here. So yeah, I did it. The Thmon server from the Game King website. And for some reason or another, the Game King website was like, I couldn't get the download anymore for some reason. I couldn't access the game through my login. So unfortunately, I had to get a brand new account on Steam, which honestly, Steam is a lot sturdier in retrospect. I wish I had started on Steam, but hey, I did it. I did it twice, and to be fair, it was actually easier the second time because by then more updates came about, and there's actually a way to cheese the system a little bit, so you can have one Digimon grind in like a safe house somewhere whilst you're grinding, and the EXP that you get from that would also transfer to that Digimon as well. So you could, in theory, grind one Digimon, but also grind 3 others in the box and stuff like that. You could also buy the shining items from people, and I think they've decreased in price since then, so I think I got like 1. So it was my way of being like, okay, so I don't have to do all 20. I can just pay for 1. It would cost a lot, but it would save me a lot of time. So yeah, it was, to be fair, the second time was easier than the first time. But I swear to you, I did it the first time. I did it once. It was heck. I was addicted. And I do not recommend you do this. Like, this is the ultimatum. I did it twice. I'm never doing it again. Like, when I lost that first account, I was morbid because I was forlorn. It's like, I spent all that. Other thing I want to point out, I was grinding in very specific areas at the time. There's like this area on Final Island that has Pile Volcamon, Grandis Coagamon, and Argomon, which is basically a bot haven. Like, if you want to see how bad the botting situation is in that game, that's the place I would go. But there are actually areas that give you more EXP. They somehow have weaker Digimon that you can get to. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's been several updates since that have added more to make it a little bit more convenient for the player. So it's still hard. You still have to really put in the work to get them, but it's easier than it was. So again, the second time was a whole lot easier, and I was super happy for that. But yeah, if you want to know how much of a grind fest Digimon Masters is, that's how grindy it gets. And then apparently there's a Susanomon Shin, and I have not unlocked that yet, but I'm really not in the mood. So yeah, apparently there's something else you have to do to get Susanomon Shin, which is basically something else you have to do in order to get a strong Susanomon. I haven't done it. I ain't doing it. I'm currently playing the game only as a side thing, and all I'm doing is just grinding for Monochromon seals because he's my favorite Digimon, and they haven't made Monochromon a partner Digimon. Like, you can't have a Monochromon on your team. They haven't done that yet. He is a raid boss, and you can fight him in a couple of areas, and that's how you get the seals. And you can have a Monochromon on your shoulder. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm not doing anything else because I'm just not. I'm not going overboard. That's the ultimate lesson I've taken from that, is like, I am not going out of my way to grind in that game anymore. It's just a side thing. Just leave it as it is. Again, I only recommend playing Digimon Masters Online for hardcore Digimon fans. So that's my story. I am getting lost in this maze, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign off here and just get to where I need to go, because I've had fun telling this story, but now I'm just getting lost. So until next time, guys. Oh wait, it's the same area. What the? Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is TomoGotchi signing off. Click, click. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and hit the bell.